that Jay Kelly?
I was interested in telling a story about a famous actor contending with the choices he's made in his life.
Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly.
It's a very humane story about somebody who's lived a rather extraordinary public life and is trying to come to terms with whether or not it was the life that he intended to lead.
He's trying to get to know himself again as a man who's been performing for many years.
It's like being crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
Noah wanted to make a movie like the movies that people used to make, that were emotional, that weren't afraid to be earnest, and that took a big swing.
This definitely felt like the story I was ready to tell.
Cinematically, it's a very different film.
Roll sound.
Almost all of the things we're shooting are in camera instead of visual effects.
The opening shot of the movie became all one take.
Nowadays you do long shots and often they're stitched together, but not this one. Even the quote was filmed.
We put it in black, written on glass. The world beyond the glass was all dark also, so it just looks like there's nothing there. So when the smoke came up, the smoke revealed what was on the glass, so it looked like it was revealing it out of thin air. And then we would rack focus to our first voice who says,
"We're coming to the end."
But that was always through glass, so when the camera pans, it goes off the glass and then it goes to Emily.
He started getting dry eyeballs from nowhere.
There's so much going on. There's all this overlapping and dialogue going on simultaneously and people talking and you never know quite where they are or who's saying what. What do I need to do?
Could you say a little something, please, Jay?
I love you.
A little bit more, please?
10, 9, 8, 7, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday.
Jay, you're the best.
Oh, there must be somebody better.
Seeing the whole wide world on this one.
Noah perfectly gets how to manage the rhythms of a scene without making it feel like a scene that's been written.
We don't want it to feel rushed, but I want you to keep your mind on the rhythm. The overlaps are great, so always don't wait for cues. Just come right in when you feel it's time for you to come in.
He gave me these drops, and it totally went away, disappeared, the dryness.
It was done on a crane, and it introduces one person, then another, then a few others.
Right now, your anxiety's at a 10, so of course you feel like quitting. Because I'm your dad.
Your hair feels great. If you've been using that conditioner.
No, man.
This is the worst part, the anticipation.
I remember being nervous. It's a giant team putting together something to make it look like it's actually happening. And we all were dancing and running in and out of shots. It was exciting. Every take was exciting, actually.
As the shot continues and we get closer to the movie within the movie shot, there should be a sort of sense of urgency and so even kind of like a layer of energy that starts to shift, which is the same urgency that you hear in my voice right now.
He's on a movie set, and always with movies, it's like, first it's all scattered.
Can we do it with the dog? Jay wants the dog. Can we bring the dog for
And then the rain comes on and lights turns on, and it's just so lovely to then come from that, and then at the last second this set piece comes into place.
The idea on this set was to sort of have an analogy of Jay's life. So the set is made up out of pieces that sort of celebrate the whole life of a film, which is the camera department, the makeup department. So in this, you see a little bit of the craziness that surrounds a movie star. And it's not until you move around the set, the whole set comes into shape.
We're watching the cast and crew prepping for the scene. I had this idea of what if we had something like that happening in the score there. I made this piece of music that was like trying to learn the music. And it felt really great in the scene. So the opening scene of the movie is actually hearing the orchestra practicing.
You should have called me puppy. Don't beat yourself up about that too. You're just getting yourself from all angles now. Guilt is a secondary emotion.
Thanks, Clay.
Always a pleasure, Jay. I did not have any bread today. No?
In the design of this set, when you finally come into the end position, the whole set comes into shape. So you see the set for one moment, you see the full glory of Jay.
Take 11.
Action.
We started with a quote, and then you end the whole thing with the dog having to perform.
He's in too soon? Can we go again? Just delay, Jerry, just a beat. Don't cut. Keep rolling, please.
It felt like if you could get both of those things right, everyone else was going to take care of it in the middle.
I don't want to be here anymore, Jerry. I want to leave the party.
It's a celebration of filmmaking and creativity, but it's also about identity. It's a representation of an internal struggle.
My time passed while I was still alive. I got to see it end before it ended.
It's a ship in a bottle, really, of what the whole movie is going to be about.
That's a crazy thing when you die. Everything you thought you were isn't true. You're a good dog.
And cut. Great.
Can we go again?
Really?
I'd like another one. I mean, I think I could do it better. Quiet, please. Different. I don't know. But if you're happy.
Very happy.
Okay.
You have an idea?
I thought I had an idea, but you're happy?
I'm ecstatic, but of course, you can have one more.
We feel good.
They really do. I liked a couple of the early ones, too.
Cool.
It was about 9 pages in the script. After weeks of rehearsal, we got it to just under 5 minutes.
Good.
And that is a picture lab on Jay Kelly. $4.59. Okay.
One of the pleasures of the movie for us was it starts really at Jay's pace. Like the whole movie moves at the speed of Jay.
Everybody, thank you all so much. You did a great job. You've all been great.
And Jay, from the get-go, is on the move. He's on the run.
From plane to train to bus to van to being on foot.
In the beginning of the movie, you have the George charisma. As the movie continues, it breaks down.
He's exposed and so honest.
Fuck me.
Making a movie about an actor is making a movie about identity. And this sort of question of who is he? Who is Jay Kelly? Jay Kelly means something, you know, as a movie star, he means something to other people. He means something to the people who've grown up on his movies. But there was a kid in Kentucky growing up named Jay Kelly. And it's the same guy, but somehow this name means something entirely different now. Jay, as he does through the movie, keeps trying to outrun himself. And once they arrive in Italy, he kind of has nowhere else to go.
There he is. He's here. Jay Kelly, so handsome, with the square-cut Superman jaw.
Where were you?
We said we'd meet at the party.
No, we said we'd meet at the dinner and go to the party.
I don't think so. You said you go to the dinner and I'll go to the party.
You said, save me a tiramisu.
How was the tiramisu?
It was cheesecake.
The heart of the film is really a love story between Jay and Ron and this kind of friendship.
Adam's character, Ron, is somebody who has been in his corner and stood with him throughout all this time.
And he has to work at Jay Kelly's pace all along, and it's exhausting, and he does it just beautifully.
Sometimes managers and agents and lawyers in show business are rendered in films in a somewhat cartoonish way. Adam just brought such vulnerability that just was so human and pure.
This is a very specific work relationship, but it was a way also to talk about friendship and power imbalance that's inherent in all relationships.
See the video?
Oh, our friends on the train filmed it. A great result. Congratulations.
Call me a hero. So embarrassed.
You are a hero, puppy.
It was the other story. I'd be the villain, not the hero.
The journey was meant to slowly open him up. You start in an environment that is more artificial and isolated, and we start to open up the world to the real world. Italy. Architecturally, it's built with stone, it's real, it's grounded. It's making him more authentic in that space than he is in a glass castle in Malibu.
Listen, come here. I want you to hear this. Come here. Come here.
Hello.
Alan, you got Ron and Jay. Sorry for the tribute noise. Just tell Jay the news.
It's been taken care of, Jay.
What is?
Timothy, the lawsuit, the nose, everything.
The interesting thing with George is the stuff he is bringing when he's not actually speaking. What's happening in the silence is brilliant and tells such a big part of the story.
You're free, Jay.
You are too young to be studying.
Why, thank you. And you're too young to be young.
I want to apologize.
To who, Timothy?
Jay is contending with the choices he's made in his life and the priorities. This is somebody who's done something on an exceptional level for now a long time in his life. But for everything he did do, there are things that he didn't do. Those decisions just become, they come more into relief for him. He starts to sort of face them in a clearer way than he has in a long time.
He's coming to terms with the idea that maybe he hasn't been such a great friend or father. He's just been really good at being a movie star. This is a story of him having to come to terms with other parts of his life besides the part that he's been very successful at. He's been very unsuccessful at a lot of other things.
Enjoy your tribute, Jay. You've earned it.
I want whiskey and spaghetti bolognese.
Then we will eat spaghetti alla bolognese.
Being in Italy and working with an Italian crew, you just feel very much part of it. And contrasting LA with Tuscany was important. You know, Italy, when you're there, reminds you of your own mortality. I think Los Angeles is a kind of place where you feel like, you know, I might actually live forever. And I think in Italy, it's hard to feel that way.
You all can make up stories, but you and I know who I am. You know who I am, Ron? Who am I?
Look at you. You're the American dream. You're the last of the old movie stars.
I'm down here.
You're up there, you're down here, you're in here. It's amazing. We've accomplished so much together.
Everything you say makes it worse.
You can stop running now, puppy. It's time to go back to work.
I'm going dancing.
Oh, the fan was wrong.
Later.
You start shooting on Monday, and I gave them my word you would be there.
Give my part to Ben Alcock.
Hey, come here. Come here. Do you know what I had to go through to get you that job? I mean, you're you. But I was the one who went to the Lewis Brothers tequila bar in Bushwick and smoked crack.
Wasn't crack.
I don't know what it was, but I smoked it. For 3 hours, I was afraid I was going to swallow my tongue.
Ron feels like he's accomplishing a lot and dedicated to Jay.
And I do it again because I think what you do is magic.
He's also feeling the pain of his kids and wife saying, where are you going this time? So there is a battle going on what his priority in life is and the angst he feels from that.
I'm just an actor, Ron, an actor that got famous.
Does none of this mean anything to you? Because it means something to me.
Give my tribute to Ben, go and dance.
I don't understand. I think I've been a good partner, a good friend. I loved you.
I love you too, Ronnie.
But are we friends?
Of course we are.
Then be a friend to me, and let's go back to work. I mean, you're Jay Kelly, but I'm Jay Kelly too. We did this together. You actually said that to me one time. You forgot.
I'm dancing.
When you fuck yourself, you're fucking me, you understand?
There's also this idea of this character who acts as a shadow of Jay. Like if Jay does something, Ron has to do it too. So Jay has a nervous breakdown, Ron's got to, on some level, have a nervous breakdown as well. But it's hard to do that. It's hard to, do that when you have your own life and your own family.
There's a point where Ron suddenly does a Jay and is like, I'm giving this up. I can't do this anymore. I can't be your manager anymore. I've got my own complicated life.
I'm dancing.
You don't know how to be a friend.
You're my friend who takes 15% of my income.
You really feel Ron go on this journey from being devoted to Jay to then feeling the pain so deeply as his disappointment in Jay and his realization that Jay isn't who he thought he was or who he wanted him to be. He probably was always who he was, but Ron never saw it.
You're not on that plane tomorrow?
I'm dancing.
The thing about Ron is he really has stayed devoted to Jay, and he really believes in him. I think there's something moving about someone who's so committed to an artist and what an artist is doing in the world. But then people grow and change, and then suddenly, well, can I still be the same to this person?
I wish you were the man I thought you were.
I'm a Cocker Spaniel dancing in the Serengeti.